I was born Judeo-Christian, and to this day, I am Judeo-Christian. For those of you out there who know me, you know that I'm Judeo-Christian. Now, when I say I'm Judeo-Christian, here's what I believe. I believe that the Bible is not for real, 100%, but I believe that early humans, they observed certain natural phenomena, and they wrote stories about it. Now, I have seen that there are over 800 different instances in which the Bible doesn't make any sense. And then you have, what is this? I went to this website last night. It's like Christian Nerd something. Just, you can look it up. I'm driving, so I don't have time. But anyway, by the way, I'm Sir Grove. This is C4CW, casting 495 celebrities worldwide. Thanks for tuning in. If you are true fans, then I, we 495 most certainly appreciate you. Y'all like that intro? That's the new and improved 2020 new decade intro. So back to Christianity. My dad has a PhD in theological studies. I've studied a lot of theology myself. I know there's a God. I've never doubted it. And that's what I was trying to explain last night to these Christians, who they are from Africa, and they were trying to tell me about God, and I was like, right, but I'm twice your age, and I already understand God to some degree as a man on this planet. Like, I hear what you're saying, and I understand that you want to express yourself about your love for God, but I don't need any biblical instruction from you. And I just really felt like their approach was misguided. So one of the things that I explained to them was that they are presumptuous. And I let them speak. I'm very diplomatic. I'm very considerate. I'm from a matriarchy, so I was raised basically by a bunch of women, and then, of course, my uncle, who's a man, just in case someone out there wants to know. I had other uncles and other men, in my life, but I was raised, by a bunch of women, and it was quite the matriarchy. So I respect women, and I was raised Baptist, but I'm of no particular denomination now. Let's see, sometimes we would attend Lutheran. I've attended Methodist. I have I'm essentially Protestant. If you want to kind of like quantify it and exactify it. So I am Sir Grove, rap artist, science researcher, analyst, developer. So I believe in quantum mechanics and science in the quantum realm of, reality, quantum reality of it all. And so what I said to these Christians was they wanted to have a conversation. And I said, well, okay. So, all right. So they I'm kind of like, it was a bit off-putting is what I'm saying. It was definitely off-putting. In hindsight, I should have handled the situation a little differently than I did. I should have just said, hey, listen, thank you so much for your gospel, spirit. I do commend you for your efforts. Applaud you as well. Thank you so fucking much. I mean that wholeheartedly. But look, man, I'm grocery shopping. You know what I'm saying? Time is of the essence, and I'm kind of fucking busy, and I just don't really like your approach, Like, I shouldn't have really told them that, per se. I should have just said, hey, listen, thank you for, loving God and for spreading the good word. But I'm really busy, got to get back to work. I'm on a break, you know what I mean? And I'm just grabbing a couple of items here because I'm traveling, hashtag rhyme traveler. So I don't really have time for some fucking nonsense. And I wouldn't have said nonsense, but you know what I mean? I'm just like, hey, great, listen, I'm glad that you guys are, sticking to the Christian faith. And, but then they wanted to talk to me about some shit that didn't add up. And I was like, all right, here we fucking go. I have to stand my ground. So They started to talk about, like, let's see, one of them quoted Timothy, the other, and I was like, listen, I've read the Bible many times. When I was younger, I read the Bible quite a bit. Read it from front to back. Before I realized and understood, like Al Bielek realized that he's, Ed Cameron, before I realized that I was a fucking rhyme traveler, and I came to know all the shit that I know now, there was some, indication along the way, deja vu, and, different events. But before I understood quantum reality, look, man, I was caught up in the whole shit like you motherfuckers are. So let me help dispel some shit for you. So here's the reality. Yes, there is a creator. Yes, there is a God. Yes, there is a grand master architect who created the multiverse that is so goddamn fucking mind-blowing, you can't even really honestly begin to comprehend the depth and the breadth of the whole shit. That's square one. Base fucking uno. Okay? Number two, the grand master architect who you call God, in all logic, is not going to create a universe in which you are made to be incapable of understanding the shit that God created. So, you have a book. It's called the Bible, or whatever book of faith. And there are stories of whatever humans were observing at some past time. We're talking early humans, pre-humans. Yes, they're human, but not the humans of today. So therefore, pre-humans in the sense that before now. Early fucking humans. Okay? They're seeing some shit they don't understand because they don't know fucking science. We don't even know science. We know a tick of a degree of fucking science. They, in contrast, knew not shit of science, mostly. Yes, there were breakaway civilizations that transited this earth. Yes, the Egyptians had batteries and fucking lasers and all kinds of shit. Anti-gravity machines. Those who were behind the scenes faking up and doctoring up this planet to make it look a certain way. That we fucking know. But most of the terrestrials that were seeded and born on this planet, they didn't know jack shit. So they're observing a bunch of shit and they're writing stories about it. And they're getting shit wrong along the way. So that's why the Bible is filled with inconsistencies. Because it's a bunch of fucking stories that have been compiled by early humans who didn't fucking know jack shizit. Okay? That's motherfucking number two. So they then say to me some stupid shit like, because, let me finish. So back to number two. So I go on to bring up the notion of the book of Enoch. And I'm like, look, okay, Cain and Abel, right? So Cain kills his brother, Abel. Cain is excommunicated. That is banished from the tribe of the first set of humans, right? Adam and Eve. Okay, their children. Okay, it's a finite group of humans living on earth because they were, in the Garden of Eden. And so then Cain gets ejected. And he goes to the Outlands. Who the fuck are the people who he encounters? Okay? Adam and Eve were the first, and their children. So how the fuck are there other people? The Bible doesn't go into details about who the fuck they were, because if the Bible is correct and true, there shouldn't be any fucking buddy other than those first people, first set of humans who God created. Shit is fucking a no-brainer. Unless you're brainwashed, and you just believe whatever you're told in Bible study. So, this is what she tells me. This is what they fucking go on to tell me. Oh yeah, but you see, the thing is, that's the beauty of the Bible. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, the things that don't add up, we see, the thing is that they're not to be taken literally. And I was like, they're not to be taken literally? Okay, so I'm supposed to believe that early humans are observing the known, air quotes, known universe at the time, and they are writing, that is, writing in their journals, diaries, taking notes, the shit that they see going on around them. And as it were, that information, flash forward to now, I'm supposed to not take it literally. I'm supposed to believe that these early fucking humans, or whatever you want to call them, their writings are somehow metaphorical. They didn't even know what the fuck metaphors were. Now, granted, they could be poetic. They're humans. So they could be poetic and prosaic and prophetic, and they could think in abstract terms, which suggests complex thinking. But they still had limited knowledge of science and how to test theories. And so there was a lot of shit they didn't know, and I'm supposed to believe that what they wrote is somehow to be taken non-literally? That doesn't even make any fucking sense. So then they piss me off even more. And they go on to further, to state that yes, that is what they're saying, and they remark that that is how the Bible ought to be interpreted. And I was like, look, man, I don't want to tell you to fuck off because you're Christian, I'm Christian, but I'm also a scientist. So I explained to them that I come from a background in science, that I'm a scientist, that I work in science, I'm a researcher, I apply the scientific method, I use it, I utilize it, I embrace it, it makes sense, it's based on fucking logic. In a binary universe, multiverse, superverse. And I said, look, okay, you asked me, do I believe in God? I have never not believed in God. And she didn't understand the double negative. Granted, she's not from the United States originally, so it took her a while to think about it. And she needed someone who was with her to help her, okay? That's kind of insignificant and inconsequential, but as a matter of record, once she understood that I meant that I had never doubted the existence of God, which is what I should have just said. I should have just said, I have never doubted the existence of God. Ever. I said, look, it's your problem that you have, okay? It's not something I grapple with. It's not something that I wrestle with. I don't have any problems understanding that the universe was created by a grand master architect. That's not my issue. That's your issue. And furthermore, I don't like going to church so much, okay? Because I did it for far too long. And then I went on to say, I said, look, here's the other thing. I don't really need to hear about the Bible right now. Like, you're not really teaching me anything that I don't already know. Like, I've read the Bible enough. I don't need to keep analyzing it. Now, I understand some people, that's what they do. They overanalyze the Bible. They have to go to church every day because there are church groups that meet up every fucking day. And I said, look, if that's the space in which you feel most comfortable going to church because you're a child of God and you need to be coddled and, you need to be, you need that congregation and you need to converge at the church with the body of Christ and whatever different types of semantics you want to use to describe and characterize what it is that you fucking do as a church meetup group, that's cool. But listen, I don't really have the time, the desire, or the energy per se to be fucking with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a very generous offer for me to meet up with you at your church and to talk about our love for God and Christ and Jesus and Jesus and, the universal creator. But look, man, I can't do that shit with you. Okay? I can't fuck with you on that level. And so anyway, I explained, look, Satan, Lucifer, was made of diamonds and sapphires. He and the other angels were light beings. We are made out of light. Everything in the universe is magnetic. Even air and even paper and rubber and glass. If you understand science, we're all made out of fucking goddamn particle, energy, light, and they didn't understand that shit. And it's in their Bible.